My name is Marcus Selvadurai, and I graduated from the Royal Vet College in London. Last year was voted, was the best vet school in the world. So I worked at a couple of hospitals there, and now I just wanted a little bit of a change and a new challenge. So I decided to come do a bit of travelling and work in a new country. When I got the job offer, with the coronavirus, COVID19, hadn't existed at the time, and then by the time I was meant to be coming, it became a big problem, especially in China in sort of January, February time. So there was a lot of, should I go, should I not go, and we discussed with my family, and I just I was looking at the risks and the pros and the cons, and ultimately I thought, I can't try and let these virus just sort of stop your life. We have to try and move forward. So I came, but the flights were very empty, so it was a little bit bizarre. And then I came to Shanghai, which is meant to be, this really hustling, bustling city with lots of people, and it was a bit more of a ghost town. So I remember my first couple of days I was walking along the Bund, and there was no one there. Right now, Thomas is just recovering from surgery, and we have a little bit of blood still coming in our urine because it was quite a traumatic surgery. So we're going to check his bladder today to make sure there's no fluid building up and making sure that it's improved. And the first couple of months were a little bit difficult because obviously most businesses were closed, but we still had to be open to look after the hospitalized animals, because animals don't stop getting sick either. So we just had to take measures the face mask was important, trying to keep distance and just navigating transport. But it was a bit difficult to sort of socialize because I couldn't really meet anyone and I didn't know anyone sort of in Shanghai. So it was only with work that I was sort of communicating with people. But after a few months and things started to open up, restaurants opened up again, and sports teams opened up, then everything became a lot easier, and it's been only getting better from there. Has she been eating and drinking since you found her?
Well, I offered her a little bit of food and she took it, but I wasn't too sure if I should feed her more, so I didn't give her too much, but she drank all right.
Okay, cool. Let's get a little weight for her for today.
Okay.
Well done, little one. About 1 kilo. Not every day is the same. We're still quite young. New things come in every day, so there's always new stuff going on and you never really know what to expect. Some days are nice and routine. We just do vaccinations, health checks. Other days, we have really ill patients coming in, or we have some more complicated things. Make sure we want to protect them from herpes virus. I think there's a different culture around it, but I think some people here really love their pets and treat them really, really well, and feel they're more of their baby, and then others don't really want too much to do with animals. So I think even culturally, there's a big divide there. I think sort of having pets and stuff is relatively new comparatively to the West. So I think there's a little bit of catching up on how people need to look after their animals, make sure we're vaccinating, using regular flea and worming, and they have to be aware of the costs that are involved, because obviously there isn't insurance for animals here at the moment, so people have to pay for it themselves, and that can come as a little bit of a shock because animals do get quite unwell as well, especially when they get older. So making sure we visit regularly and we do all of our preventative health care will help make sure that we keep them happier and healthier for longer. They do have similarities for sure. They're big cities with lots of things going on. I think Shanghai, because it's sort of in China and you have the whole of Asia sort of around it. It has a different sort of vibe, and I think the food is still quite different. The Chinese food in the UK is very, very different to Chinese food here. So I've been enjoying trying to try lots of those things as well.
The other thing that I really want to do, the pet industry is sort of getting much, much bigger here in China and Shanghai in particular. So I want to lend my expertise and try and educate as many people on the challenges and the rewards of looking after your pets and how to do it properly, preventing disease and socializing, and sort of getting a better relationship between animals and people here in China.